Welcome. Today we're building a gaming PC, Ryzen based, also a GeForce graphics card. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think this graphics card is today. But looking forward to the build. Took a little bit longer to set up today, but we have an awesome multicam setup. Let's see. Boom. I think I started recording on accident. Okay, don't want to record the stream. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Let me get the chat up. Make sure we got you guys been able to talk. All right, B650M motherboard. Looking forward to this thing. That's not what I want to be doing. All right, so we got a multicam setup. This is actually another deal, or a mirrorless camera right here. That one's got the zoom, and this other one's just a wide angle lens that it's probably just gonna stay there. So yeah, this motherboard, I've used it before. I think I got it for like 110 bucks, 100 bucks. Really can't beat it for that price. I'm gonna go gangster mode on the PC, brother. I'm gonna go gangster mode. I gotta get the IO shield and everything out of there. This does come with the IO shield, not built in, sadly, and then Wi-Fi. And then this I'll probably just throw away. Don't really need those. All right. A lot of plastic later, and we got the motherboard here. Everything's gonna inverse for me. All right, I'm about to go gangster mode, brother. Next up, we got the Ryzen 7600X. So this thing is pretty good, actually. I got this on Newegg for like, I think 170 a few weeks ago, but it also came with 16 gigs of DDR5 for free. This stuff is a hot commodity. Like, this stuff basically costs as much as the CPU now, which is absolutely insane. But yes, I'm going gangster mode, brother. So what do you boys think of the latest video? I'm thinking that NVIDIA is going for world domination right now. Pretty much, they're mad with AI. They're mad with the evaluation in the bubble, and it's going to affect a lot of different things when that bubble pops, including like the economy, the U.S. GDP, and all that. So yeah, here's the CPU. Let's see if we can get it closer. Focus for me, buddy. It's not focusing. There we go. Ryzen 7600X. Let's see if we can get a close up on this socket. You definitely don't want to bend these pins. We've been over that. I actually haven't bent one of these pins on stream before. I don't know if I've ever bent a motherboard pin, actually. So let's hope I don't do that today. So yeah, when it comes to AMD, it's kind of easier. It's a square, so you're just gonna wanna line up the CPU with these two dots and kind of wiggle it, make sure it's in there. Bada bing, bada boom. And our CPU is on. It's a bit blurry, so maybe I'll turn up the aperture. I don't know if that's doing anything or not. So I got, of course, the case is the Sama case that I've used over and over and over and over again. I got it for like $55 or something. It was like $60 and it came with a Newegg $5 gift card. So that case is just, it's a fish tank. It comes with infinity fans. you know, it just looks glorious, and it's just cheap, dude. It's just so cheap, and the quality's there. So that's, of course, the case I went with today. Let's see. Now we can kind of get the NVMe in. I'll flip it over for you guys so y'all can get the full experience. I'll just do it upside down. It's no biggie. So for the SSD, we went with, once again, the KingSpec drive. This is a XG7000, 1 terabyte. It is a Gen 4 NVMe. It does 7,000 read and write pretty much. It's like max Gen 4 speeds. Got this bad boy for, I want to say, 60 bucks. Go. There it is. It's glorious, bro. It's got like a little red sticker on it for the heatsink. I think that uses a regular screwdriver. Sure does. Bro, I don't know, dude. PC buildings might be cooked pretty soon. Like with the prices of RAM and storage going up. The nice thing is like GPU pricing is just going down like crazy right now. And I do not see a... is that in here? I do not see any screws for the NVMe for this thing. Oh, I think that fooled me last time. Actually, you'll be using the screw that comes on the heatsink for that. So make sure you peel that. I'm gonna pop that in like there, and it screws in both the heatsink and the NVMe. Nice design, actually. Yeah, Thomas, you know, all the parts that I'm building with today are actually in the description below. So if you want to build a PC like this, just look in the description and you'll be able to pretty simply. And you'll also support me with, you know, affiliate links. So go ahead and do that. All right. Next up, the RAM, DDR5. No biggie. I mean, it's not too crazy. The thing is, I looked up this RAM, and a 32 gig kit costs like $180 now, or like 200 bucks. This is a 16 gig kit. I usually would get a 32 gig kit, but you know, it just came free with the CPU, so that's what we'll be using. It is DDR5 6000, and what is the CL38? So it's like not the best timings or anything like that, but I don't think it really has to be on Ryzen here. It's the wrong way. There we go. And what do you know it? We already have the CPU, the NVMe, and the RAM installed. So if we weren't using a discrete GPU, this would basically be it other than the cooler and power supply. However, we are using a discrete GPU. See if you guys can guess what this is. It's glorious. This one's actually used. One of my friends had this in his build. We're actually going to be using it in a PC now. I was going to put this in my mini PC, but I ended up going with the 5070 instead. So this is close to that. It is really nice. It's a pretty GPU. All right, so next I'm going to actually want to get a look at the CPU cooler. So we're using the SE24 or 1214 XT. So it is a ID cooling solution. This thing's like $17 on Amazon, and it has not let me down. The reason I buy it is because it's ARGB, which basically means the fan you can change that color to anything you want. If it's non-age or RGB, that would just be rainbow, and I just don't like that, right? You're using a 13700K, dude. That's a good CPU. You're on an Intel build. It's a 4070, yeah. So actually, all of the parts are in the description below. So if you looked in the description, you would have known, yeah, it's a 4070. You know, you got DLSS 3 frame gen, DLSS 4 upscaling. You really can't go wrong with a graphics card like this, bro. And also, it only uses one 8-pin. Like, this thing sips power, and with how big this cooler is, it's gonna run very cool, and it's gonna look sexy. The guy that actually, I have someone lined up for this build already. He wanted to, an all-white PC. It's not gonna be totally all white, but the cooler will be white, the graphics card will be white, and then the cable extensions will be white. That reminds me, I forgot to get the cable extensions. I'll probably have to go back and get those at some point. What's up, Zenbu? How you doing, brother? Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to install the AMD bracket. To be honest with you boys, I don't know if I've ever done AM5 on here. I know AM4 is the same, but I might have to take a look. Okay. So it uses the same bracket. We're just gonna have to undo this. Yeah, like, dude, I say this is, and you know, I'm making a video about this. I already filmed a video about it, but PC parts right now it's just in a weird spot. And selling computers, it's weird, dude. Like, there is a demand right now for computers, but people don't have the money to buy them. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I know there's a lot of people that want a gaming PC, but they just don't have the money. So it leaves it in a weird spot where graphics cards are going down because literally people do not have the money for those. But like server-wise, like server parts are going up. And it makes me think that these companies, like not only NVIDIA, but like Micron and you know, SK Hynix, all these memory manufacturers are not only going to abandon, or NVIDIA is not only going to abandon the gamers and PC builders, but also they will. Like, they're just going to stop production for consumers. And we're seeing that now with RAM prices. Like, they just aren't making consumer RAM. It's crazy, bro. So I made a video about that. Tune into that maybe this week. Here we go. This is what I need. I needed that screw. All right. Put our spacers on here. So guys, let me know, does the audio sound okay, and is it off? Like, when I show my face here, is the audio off? Let me know in the comment section right now. I'll try to fix it if it is. Dude, that's hard. It's like inverted. Dude. Yeah, I'm doing well, Zenbu. It's nice to see you in the chat. But dude, I saw that like $600 for like a kit of RAM, brother. I bought my QDIM kit. These aren't even going through. What the heck? Is it right here? Maybe it's on use those, yeah. I bought a QDIM kit, 48 gig kit for like $280 when I bought my 265K. And I thought that was expensive, but that RAM can run at 8600 megatransfers a second though in Gear 2. So it's like, okay, you pay for like the top end. Now just regular Joe Schmo RAM is going for that much. And that's just ridiculous. Like, I don't know how you make a build. It's a good thing I just bought like a ton of RAM. Like, I saw that it was going on sale not too long ago, bought a lot of it. I found someone locally that was selling, he sold 16 gigs of DDR 5 and 16 gigs of DDR4 to me for 50 bucks. So I bought a couple kits from him. You know, I'm just making sure that I'm supplied where I need to be. Audio's very good. All right. Well, glad to hear that, boys. We aren't even rocking the DJI cam today. We have this camera up here, up there, is a mirrorless camera that I bought. I actually bought it for my father-in-law for a Christmas present. However, Christmas isn't here yet, so I'm going to use it. And I have like an overhead cam setup, so it's really like nice and stable, as you can see. And then the camera over here is the one I usually film with. It's my ZV-E10, and it's just plugged in through HDMI. So, or yeah, that one. It's plugged in through HDMI. Well, hopefully you guys understand like the most optimal, maybe it's not the most optimal, but a very optimal way of building a computer now after you've been seeing me do it a few times. Like you get in your storage, you get in your RAM, your CPU, and then really importantly, your backplate, all before you even put it in your case. At that point, it's very easy to slip this in your case, like, and then plug in all your cables, then you put on your CPU cooler, then you put in your graphics card. It's quick. It's quick that way. So this is what the motherboard's looking like now. We got a whole terabyte SSD, 16 gigs of RAM, Ryzen 7600. I'm using the camera lenses. So this one over here is a Sigma 16mm 1.4. And then this one up here, the overhead cam, is a Sony Zoom. I actually don't have that in my description. The Sigma I do, but this one is a Zeiss. What does it say on here? 24 to 70 millimeter, and then aperture of 2.4 to 7, or no, 4 to 7. So yeah, that's what we're rocking for the camera lenses. All right, yeah, so really cool. A friend of the channel, his name is in the chat if you see him, JD Tech Mods. In the Discord, his name is Smoke. He sent me a DDR5 kit of RAM a while back, actually like half a year ago, 32 gig kit, and I combined it with my 48 gig kit. Now I have 80 gigabytes of RAM in my Intel Arrow Lake system, and get this, even though all 4 slots are populated, I have it running at 7400 megatransfers, CL36 and Gear 2. So Arrow Lake's memory controller is insane, and that's great for video editing. Just the other day, that video I just released, it used 18 or 19 gigs of VRAM on the 5090, and then it was using about like 46 gigs of DRAM. And that video was not hard to edit. So like, if I ever do something that's a huge project, I'm definitely gonna need more RAM. So I'm glad I have 80. Okay, so now guys, I'm gonna have to actually, I'll switch to this one. I gotta get the case over here. I haven't actually brought this out yet. I was rushing to get all this done. So yeah, I have the case box. There's so much trash. I usually open the case and then throw all the trash in the case box. But dude, yes, 100% yes, dude. After the super cards come out, prices are going up. Like, if you want a card, this is the card you get. You go to Newegg right now, you get that 5070 MSI model for $480. It comes with Arc Raiders Deluxe. I just got that same graphics card and put it in my mini PC. You overclock that thing, it is 15% behind, or no, 19% behind a 4080. 15% behind a 9070 XT. I ran the numbers, I tested it. Literally 15% slower than a 9070 XT with a good overclock, and you're paying under $500. But then also you have all the DLSS features. It is non-contender. Don't get a 5060 Ti. The 128-bit bus is not good enough. The 5070 is actually an amazing card for the money right now. So go ahead and get that. If you need more VRAM, you can always upgrade later. Now, if you play at 4K, okay, sure. I could see you not getting the 5070. That's like the only case. Good old Sama case. I have like 2 more of these just I stocked up. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to take this case out. You have 100 tabs open. Dude, yeah, Google uses more tabs than anything else these days. I'm actually insane with or I'm amazed at how Windows in modern applications, how much RAM they use. You'll run like a low-end game like Fragpunk, and it'll use like almost all 32 gigs of RAM. If you guys don't know, Fragpunk is basically like a Valorant clone. And I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what they're doing with all that. Like I said, guys, I usually do this before the stream starts. I was running late today. Okay. That probably hit the mic right there. Probably a lot of noise coming off the mic. Okay. Here we are. The famous Sama case. Look at it. Look, $60 for this. You get 3 infinity fans, fish tank style. Honestly, it's a great case to build in except for the I/O shield. It's hard to put in. Other than that, it's great. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off these glass panels so they don't fall. Try to throw all this trash away. Yeah, it's a good case, bro. It's a good little case. For 60 bucks, you can't really beat it. I actually have not seen a case come anywhere close to this value. Not sponsored by Sama, by the way. The one bad thing about it is it's not like full-size ATX, but that's actually a good thing when you're building with, you know, ATX cases, because it looks weird if you get like a full-size case and then put a big motherboard in there. All right. Dude, it is literally $40.90. It is a $40.90 for $480 right now. But no, for real, like, multi-frame gen's pretty good, guys, but I wouldn't call it, well, no, it's definitely not like performance, but it is really, it's a good feature. You're being a weeb. Nisama. I'm sorry I had to abandon you guys for like 3 weeks. Midterms went hard, brother. I'm a PhD student, so had to do what I had to do. I wrote a paper, actually. That was the main thing. All right. Oh, I don't know what that was. That was probably a screwdriver or something. Okay, let's see. So this is going to be going in that way. See if I can push it in there. Do I think Nova Lake will be shown at CES? I think Nova Lake motherboards will be shown off at CES, and that's what I'm interested and excited about going. I'd actually be surprised if their motherboards aren't showed off. But as for like Nova Lake itself, I don't really think so. I'm gonna leave that there. I think It actually went in this time. That's great. For Nova Lake itself, I don't think they're actually going to show it off, to be honest. I'm a scholar in the scribes. I wrote a paper about quantum mechanics and entanglements and all the little things that you got to know. No, I'm just playing. I'm in nutrition. I'm not in computer science or anything like that. I just like computers. All right, here we go. Show you guys. The one thing, it's kind of hard to grab when you don't put the CPU cooler on, but it's worth it because like you got to maneuver in this case. If you get a big CPU cooler, you can't really do that. This is hard to do upside down while not actually looking at like I would usually do it from this way where there's like a lot of extra space, but oh. It just doesn't really want to line up. Except on the I/O side, it is all lined up. That's strange. Okay, I think we'll get it from here. Starting to get really hot in this room. Dude, I think if you want to wait to upgrade something, it should be your CPU. Because, dude, the next gen CPUs we're going to get are literally going to be twice as good in multi-core pretty much. Like, not all the way, but pretty much. As far as gaming, though, yeah, they'll probably be like 20, on the Ryzen side, 20 to 30%. I think that's what I said. I think I said 25%. This is not lining up for me. Here, guys, I'm going to turn on my fan. Let me know if it gets loud. If you can hear that, then I'll turn it right back off, but I'm hot. I'm just trying to line these up. That's one thing about this case is like just the I/O and lining up the motherboard just doesn't want to cooperate. Dang it. Isn't it? 5070 Ti. Yeah, dude, like the 5070 Ti was the buy of the 50 series. You know that or the 5090. Like I have to like really push it to even line them up. At that point, I can't even. What the heck? It's all because this I/O shield. It's like not all the way pressed back. Ooh. Could be because of the wire over here is in the way. Okay, I think I can get it now. It's so close. Dude, I don't know. The 12 volt high power thing, from what I've seen, like, I don't think it's that common of occurrence, bro. I I can tell you this, like, with the 12 volt high power, I ran my 5090 above 600 watts. It's literally on a live stream. You can go back and look. Like, it reached like 615 watts. Mine did not melt. Given I've only plugged mine in once and I'm using a native cable, no adapters. But after seeing that, after having a 5-year warranty on the card, I'm not really worried about it, to be honest with you. If it does melt, I'll just get a replacement. But I think it's kind of a rare thing, so I'm not really too worried about it. Did I get one in? Heck yeah. Let's see if you guys can get a better look what I'm doing. Yeah, there's no way I'll be able to see those individual holes, but it's just like very close to lining up, but it just doesn't. And that's all because the I/O on this thing, the I/O shield, never wants to go in on this case. I think this one's lined up. No. What the heck? There we go. We got 2 in. Let this be 3 right here. Bada bing, bada boom. I have an ATX 3.1 power supply. It is the Montech 1050 watt. Highly recommend that thing because we tested it live. It could handle a 615 watt 5090. So I'm not sure what it could not handle at that point. You know, also I was rocking a 265K, which, you know, in some of those scenarios was pulling 150 watts as well. So it was literally probably using 800 to 900 watts after the efficiency, the curve and all that. Did not skip a beat. Okay, so all I have left is this top left one. And now it goes in, I think. Now that all the other ones are in. Yep, there we go. Motherboard is secure. That's basically the hardest part about this case. Now, this motherboard has the USB port, front USB, like right here. And this fan is in the way. So I'm gonna have to unscrew this fan to plug that in. Because on one live stream, we actually bent all the pins on that because I tried to do it from here and it's just, there's not enough room. Yeah, I saw that the 9070 XT had a melted connector, and I found that kind of weird because, like, that card, what, doesn't use that much power, right? Doesn't use that much power. So I don't know how that happened. I think they were using the adapter. I think I saw that. Dude, I got my power supply for $100. It was on sale for $100 for a 1050 watt, 80 watt plus gold, and I'm like, oh, I'm taking that. I upgraded when I had a, oh, it's not working. I upgraded to it when I had a 4080, and I just assumed, I'm like, you know, what if NVIDIA sends me a 5090, or what if I buy one? And lo and behold, I just bought one. Hopefully NVIDIA sends me a 6090. I've been doing a lot of shilling for them recently, pumping, you know, gassing them up. No, but that would be kind of cool. I'd like to get a Nova Lake sample, if anything. Like, I'd almost prefer a Nova Lake sample over a 6090, just because I already have the 5090. But I feel like, you know, getting a 52 core CPU would just blow my world, like blow my mind. But let's see, what should we do next? I think we should just do the front connections on this bad boy. For this, I'm just gonna raise that up. Like I said, I'm gonna have to undo the 2 screws here on this fan, and I'll just plug in this front USB and then I'll re-screw it back in. You want a Sapphire Nitro? Dude, I implore you, if you do not need that 4 extra gigs of VRAM, go with the 5070. You are not going to be disappointed if you know how to overclock, because it's an overclocking monster. I need to make a video about it. I just don't know if anyone would watch it, bro. Like, a lot of the testing videos I do, people don't like to watch those as much as just talking head. And the talking head videos are a lot easier to make. All right, here we go. I think I just need to get better at testing. I've done a lot of talking head, haven't done a lot of testing. If I continue to try and get better on presenting what my data, I think it'd pop off. So I just need to do it. Problem is, it just takes so much time to do testing compared to talking head. The case, okay, so the case is in the description below. This is the Sama. I'm just gonna call it Sama fish tank. Where's the box at? It's called the Sama SV02. That's what it's called. So do with that what you will. It's even got front USB-C, boys. Like, this thing, this case for the money, I've never seen a case better than this for the money, and that's why I bought so much of them. You know that these front USB ports actually have to go in a certain way. They're not unidirectional, like regular USB-C. Okay, HD audio. Funny thing, I was playing a game, it's called Enter the Backrooms, with my friends last night, or the other night, and they turned up their mic volume so loud that it like almost blew up my ears, and I thought my headset was breaking. My onboard motherboard audio stopped working. Turns out it wasn't my headset, but it blew up the onboard audio of my motherboard, which I have a like high-end Strix board, so it kind of sucks. So I do have a DAC. I'm just gonna listen to audio off my DAC, but I had to buy a little adapter for that. So it is what it is. Dude, yes, dude. Not only is it gonna have 52 cores, but it's also gonna have more PCIe lanes. And I've heard, you know, a little bit of rumors here and there that it's gonna have PCIe Gen 6, guys. So be that, you know, do that with what you may, but that's a huge amount of bandwidth. And I'm somebody that uses all my lanes. I have 14 terabytes of NVMe storage in my main rig, and I'm already running out of storage. So I would love a motherboard upgrade. I would shill for that if Intel were to send me that. It would be a slam dunk because for me, like, I have enough gaming CPU performance to play at 4K, but I want more cores and I want more lanes. And I think it would be really cool. As long as it didn't have horrible latency in between the 2 dies, I think it would be great. Then I'd probably have to say, yeah, this isn't good for gaming, but dude, I think it makes total sense. I made a video about talking about that. I made actually like 4 videos the other day when I filmed. It's gonna take me a while to edit. I think it makes perfect sense that the 5090 is in the life. You gotta think, dude, this is a 750 millimeter squared die, 512-bit bus. It's huge. And when there's new things coming on the horizon, you don't want to overproduce this because you'll lose a lot of money. Because its value can drop off fast. So yeah, of course, they're going to stop making the 5090 out of the first cards probably. You know, that's going to be the first one they cut production for. They're gearing up for supers. It sounds like the 5080 Super is going to replace it. And it just is what it is, you know. If you want a 5090, buy one now. If you want something better, wait for the 6090. Because I don't think a 5090 Ti is coming out. They've done what they can on this 4 nanometer node. You have to understand, the 4090 and the 40 series was on 4 nanometer. The 50 series and the 5090 was on 4 nanometer, and now at this point we're jumping to 3 nanometer. I don't think they're making a 5090 Super. If they did, it would be for AI bros, and you would not be able to afford it because it would have what, like, it'd probably have 64 gigs of RAM or something. Or if they use what would it be if they use 3 gigabyte chips? Because the 5090 has 16 2 gigabyte chips, if I believe. So 3 times 16, 30, what was that? 48? It'd have 48 gigs of VRAM. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, so next I think we're ready to do the power supply. Went with a different power supply this time. However, this is an old favorite of mine. It's the PVIA Galaxy 80 plus watt gold efficiency. It's a 650 watt and it's modular. However, for pre-builts, I don't like modular power supplies because then people might actually forget to include all of the PCIe power cables. They'll think, oh, I don't need it for my GPU now. So I'm not going to include it. It's not a good thing. I'll give you guys an example of what I mean. So this power supply has different cutouts, right? It's kind of focusing on the wrong thing here. It has different cutouts. This is a PCIe cutout. It's not focusing on it. Okay, and what people will do is they won't include that if their graphics card doesn't use it. But then when they upgrade, they don't have their PCIe and they have to get a whole new power supply. So if it was just all non-modular, they would have all the cords they need. For your personal build, it's fine. Like, just keep it all safe in a different box. But I'm just gonna go ahead and unplug all, or put all these in there. And so they have all their cords. Giga Chad. We giga, man, we giga. So yeah, I'm just gonna plug it. Just so if they want to run like 10 hard drives with all these SATA ports, they can. If they need a ton of Molex for some reason, they got it. And of course, include the PCIe cable, bro. Never leave this out. Even if you aren't using it in the moment, you always want to get that. Okay. So now we're gonna mount this in there. That's our power cord. It looks like Seasonic. I have no idea. PVIA, they're probably some sort of Chinese brand. Some of their power supplies are straight up garbage tier, like you don't want to buy them, but this one's a good one. I've tested this one many times. It's never broke on me. I have actually bought some power supplies that just totally went out. Like, they didn't kill the PC, but they just blew up. This has not been one of those. I want to say, I kind of forgot the brand. I used to buy them all the time. It's called the R-Game, something like that. That power supply brand, at least the one I was buying, I had several issues while in my testing phase with the power supply, where I would keep it on my test rig or put it in a build and it would suddenly just stop working. I'm peeling all the plastic off these fans. So I do not recommend that brand. R-Game. I would not get one of those. Oh, I know why Sawyer said Giga Chad now. It's because the thumbnail. I was like, time to build a PC? Yeah. I was just feeling like making that face today. So remind me, Planner Channel, do you do PC flips and stuff too? Because you got to understand, bro, what you want to buy for your main rig and what you want to buy for a PC flip are two different things. Like, to you, you may find value in a higher wattage PSU or a name brand PSU, or you know, RGB Lian Li fans, like name brand things. But in a pre-built that you're building for profit, those don't make sense to include because they cost more money than value they bring. So you just want to bring the most value to your customer when you're flipping. And that's not always the best name brand stuff. A lot of the times it's things that look like the name brand that perform basically the same but are much cheaper. It's not like you're buying the cheapest stuff. Like, this is not the cheapest stuff. I might kind of well, because all this is just mushed in there. I actually need to go back to my garage and get the cable extensions because I forgot to get them. There's no margin in Canada. Yeah, I bought them for about $35 not even a year ago. A 32 gig kit at DDR5. I remember, it was glorious. Okay, so this is CPU, this is PCIe, and then I just need a SATA for the fan controller, and then we're Gucci. I didn't bring my wire cutter, so I'm just doing all this by hand right now. It takes a lot longer. Yeah, actually, who is Cobb from the Discord? That man Cobb likes to talk. He likes to chat. Put a whole Discord just for him. Whole Discord channel. He enlightens us, though. All right, boys, I'm going to go to the garage right quick, take no more than 10 seconds or 15 seconds, and then grab these extension cables so we can get this build up and going. BRB.
Hey, I was right.
What's up?
I was correct on who did it.
Oh.
Wait, are you done?
No, I have to get some stuff out of the garage that I forgot. All right. What Daddy needs right here. I think they can hear me though, so this is my wireless mic. All right. So Planner Channel is Cobb. Okay. Good to know. So these are the cable extensions. Whoa, that is zoomed in. These are the cable extensions right here. Pretty basic. I buy these off AliExpress. It's Formula Mod. It's about $17, $15. For this kit, it was probably 15 because it only came with one PCIe cord. So, yeah. The first one I'm going to do is the CPU cord. just so we can plug it in right here. Because the last couple streams, this is the one thing I forget, is like I'll do the CPU cooler, but then I have to plug the power in, and I'm like, oh dang it, that sucks. Because it's hard reaching back there. It's so much easier when there's no cooler in the way. All right, so this is gonna go in there like that. So I'm gonna put these cable combs this way. PC glory, bro. So I want you guys to guess how much this PC build costs for me to build. Whoa. Probably costs way more to build now. I'm actually gonna have to separate these two. They will not fit together. This whole all right. I actually hate trying to put this back on though. Screw it, I'm just gonna turn it around. I can't do that backwards. $650, dude. So this has a 4070 in it, man. That's just not possible to build it all for $650. It's got AM5, DDR5, and a 4070. Not a 4060, a 4070. I actually built this one for a lot. Like, I'm not gonna have a big margin on this one, but I am getting to offload this 4070. There we go, clicked into place for me. All right. So now I'm actually gonna just do the CPU cooler. This should be a pretty simple process. Trying to line it up. It is harder than it looks to line that up. Scratching this table up, but it's no biggie. All right. Always remember, take off your little sticker. Do not let me see you lacking, leaving that on. We are not friends if you do that. And then here's the thermal paste that came with the cooler. It's probably not going to be enough. That was a decent amount. I think that's enough, actually. Just get my little spatula. Kind of stuck to my spatula more than it did to the CPU. This other one that I have just spreads really well. A mixed thermal paste. I don't know if that's bad or good. It's not the first time I've done that though. There we go. Oh, thanks for the 2 thoughts on the AMD game optimization fiasco. Bro, I mean, RDNA 2 came out how long ago, dude? That is insane that they're trying to end support for RDNA 2. And it just shows, like, NVIDIA costs more for a reason. You're paying for more things. And we're going, like in my latest video, we're going to this software meta where hardware is increasing at a slower rate, but software is mattering more and more. The killer apps are mattering more and more. And if your hardware can't run the killer apps, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how fast it is. So I think that it's a scummy move, but maybe AMD does not have the, maybe they do not have the driver team to maintain that. And they're switching architecture so often that it's harder for them to do that. You know, like I said in my video, there are GCN architecture, then they went to Vega, then they went to RDNA. Now RDNA 4 is like fundamentally different than RDNA 2 and 1 because RDNA 2 and 1 didn't have AI accelerators, like all these things. And NVIDIA has just been built off CUDA. It's just easier for them, and they have a larger team. And I think AMD, you know, they struck this deal with OpenAI, and they want to be viewed as an NVIDIA competitor. They want to be viewed as an AI contender, and they just aren't there yet. But once they get there, their stock would blow up, and that's kind of what they want. I'm not sure if it will happen or not. I mean, what it makes me think, you know, what the AMD RDNA 2 makes me think is how long is Intel going to be supporting, you know, the A770, the B580, and hopefully it's longer, like because those, you know, Arc, Alchemist, and Battlemage are in iGPUs. Arrow Lake just launched with Intel Arc Alchemist, so are we going to see support for those for 8 years, or is it going to be like 2 years? I have no idea. Toonie is $2. What is Toonie? Oh, like a $2 bill? What I think is, you know, another thing is, I made a whole video about this. I never aired it just because there was other things going on. There were so many leaks at the time, and I just never got around to editing it. But this video, this unreleased Silicon Steak video in the archives that I made, was me talking about how the 7900 XTX is going to age absolutely horribly compared to the 4080 and the counterparts, just because, you know, not because it's VRAM, but because it's drivers. And I said this, you know, its drivers are going to fall apart on that card. It being a chiplet-based card, and the only chiplet-based card that we have at this point, it using so much power to get on to the 4080 performance level, it not having AI-based upscaling, it's not going to go good for that card, you know. And it's encoding really never getting up to snuff. Its video editing performance really never getting widely supported like it was. You know, it did get better. RDNA 3 is when they started supporting better in like DaVinci Resolve and things like that, but I really do think that card, if you have it now and it's still selling for a lot, I say sell that thing, get a 5070 Ti, get a even a 9070 XT is better than that. It's going to age better because it's monolithic. I think the AI features it has is going to just, it's less hardware, but it's actually more because the software, and that's what we were talking about, right? So there we go. CPU cooler's on. Then I'll just plug it into the back. It's a nice little CPU cooler. Okay. We're getting closer and closer with this build, boys. Actually, all I need to do now is plug in the motherboard power and then GPU and GPU power, and then it's done. Plug in the RGB right now. Okay. So this for the motherboard. It's gonna come in. It's gonna come in like. I'm gonna go like that. So I need to do this side right here. Yeah, 4070 Ti Super is a great card. Honestly, guys, I think if you have a card like a 4080, you'll be good into next console generation. I'm thinking, based on the leaks I've seen from Moore's Law's Dead and things like that, I'm gonna estimate the next Xbox is about a 4080 performance level in raster. I have no idea in ray tracing. He's saying there's some sort of ray tracing gain that's just gonna be monumental, we'll see. But when it comes to raster and just performance, I'm thinking it's gonna be around 4080. The next Xbox, but that will be coming out in 2027. So if you have a 4080, you're literally going to be good for like another 10 years, like for the baseline performance. Basically, you'll be on the console level next gen, the high-end console level, because apparently Xbox is going to be up there. The PlayStation will be lower than that. PlayStation might be like a 5070 or something like that. Dude, I got this thing so tangled. Oh, I messed up on the very first one. $9070 XT. Yeah, the 9070 XT is good, bro. It is good. I think you'd be better served by 5070 or 5070 Ti, but 9070 XT is good. And I say that, I've tested the 9070 non-XT. I just think the NVIDIA is better, but it's good, especially for only gaming. It's good. You might lose driver support in 3 years though, so just get ready for that, because they're going to UDNA, so they're going to be cutting all RDNA shortly, probably, I would imagine. While NVIDIA is still on CUDA, and they're supporting GPUs for 9 years. Like 1080 Ti just now died, and that came out in 2017. Pascal came out in 2016, the architecture. So that's 9 years. So it's like, yeah, you pay $100, $200 more for a card, but you get better software support now and later, just for like the whole duration of the card. So I think it's worth it. I think the 4080 Super has 80, I guess. I know the 4080 regular has like 72, I thought. Okay, so what is this? This graphics card goes in there like that. Then the pin's on the top, okay. So it would go like that. Honestly, I think the 4080 should have had more SMs. There was a huge difference between the 4080 and the 4090. I wish they would have came out with the 4080 Ti, but we didn't know at the time they were going to be reusing 4 nanometers, so it wouldn't have made sense for NVIDIA to do that. You know, hindsight's 2020 though. I'm gonna put all these screws in this little bag. That's why, like, dude, I mean, apparently NVIDIA's bidding for 1.4 nanometer for Feynman GPUs, and that's going to be That's going to be the architecture to wait for. Now, who knows whether they're going to be able to gaming GPUs like GeForce Feynman architecture on 1.4, or if they're just going to keep us sucking on 3 nanometer for a long time. Who knows? Okay, it's finally time. We're going to put the Ding Dong GPU in. It's glorious. It's a RTX 4070. Look at it. It's only uses little 8-pin. 3080 performance, 12 gigs of VRAM, way more efficient. DLSS frame gen technology. Really good media encoders. GeForce Now is the gaming future. It's not the future I want. Funny thing, guys. I really, when I really wanted to get a PC, I looked into Google Stadia, and I thought this is the future of gaming. I'm not gonna get a PC. I'm just gonna get like a little Stadia and plug it into my TV. I was so wrong. I never bought it. When it came out, people trashed it, and I was like, oh. Then I looked at building a PC. This was all in 2019. And that's when I built my first computer in 2019. All right, here we go. I think it's in. I didn't hear it click. It's lined up though. Yeah. Oh, I'm liking this. Daddy likey. What do y'all think? Yeah, bro. I don't know. Linus's video may be confused. Like, how in the world is gaming across the country only adding 15 milliseconds of latency? And how is that the same as like, how is FrameGen adding the same amount of latency as gaming over like literally states? Something wasn't adding up for me on that. I'm not a believer in that. I think that's propaganda. All right, I'm gonna put this back panel on. Fiber, yeah, I know fiber and all. I have fiber. I have 1 millisecond latency, but I don't know. It just, like, there's gotta be more latency than that, because like, what about the computer latency? Like that computer's latency, then adding to your computer latency, running all the way to your house, like the input of your mouse, like all of that, it's gotta be more, right? I don't know, like, it blows my mind. Maybe it's possible. All right. I get 1 millisecond when I do a speed test. My internet's so good. I get 2.5 gig up and down. All right, boys. One last guess. How much did this PC cost? We have an RTX 4070, Ryzen 7600. Let me go ahead and put these Wi-Fi sticks on there, antennas. Yeah, and that's also another thing, like pixelation and stuff. Like the native experience is always going to be king. The only way native wouldn't be king is if NVIDIA locks people out from buying the best GPUs for like their home, and they have to use GeForce Now to get something like a RTX 1090 or something, you know, or 190, I guess it would be called. Yeah, so I did the math today after tax and everything. This build was about $950 because I'm valuing the 4070 at 400. I actually traded my 4080 for this 4070, and he also gave me $350 cash. So I evaluated my 4080 at $700, this at 400, and then I got $350. It's glorious. There we go. White. So I have a buyer, and I said I'd give him a really good deal. I told him I'd get him this for $1,100. So that is a measly $150 profit, but I get to offload the 4070 that honestly I don't have any purpose for, I don't really want to hold for its full value. And I actually have a ton of inventory right now I need to offload. So dude, I just realized there's a ton of it. Oh, what the heck? Okay, I just realized there's a ton of extra wiring up here from the fan, so I'll have to fix that later. But yeah, guys, this was the stream. Hopefully it was pretty cool. We'll go ahead and just take questions for like 10-15 minutes, and then I think I'm going to end it here in a minute. Well, I could redo the math, but let's see. Somebody in the comment section do the math for me. Case, $60. CPU core, $17. Cable extensions, $15. Power supply, $60. What else? RAM, free. CPU, $175. SSD, $60. And what else? I think that's it for all the items I bought that include tax. So go ahead and multiply whatever number you have right now by 1.0825. I have an 8.25% sales tax here in Texas. Okay, so add that number to $400. The GPU costs $400, and I got around like $950. Just around $950 for that. So that's just what it costs, bro. You're getting a 4070, you're getting AM5, you're getting DDR5, all for under $1,000. I think that's pretty good. And then the guy I'm selling it to, $1,100 for him. I think that's a good deal. Yeah. Yeah, guys, let me know any questions you got because I'm about to end the stream. And this is a perfect example. You spend like double, triple, in my case, in my main rig, like quintuple more on your GPU than your CPU, because the GPU, the number of cores, it scales with everything, with gaming, with video editing, well, maybe not video editing, but any kind of workload mostly you're gonna be doing with your GPU, it's going to scale with how much cores you have on your GPU, clock speed, things like that. Whereas CPU, it's not going to, many applications are not designed for multi-threading, and they just don't scale with the number of cores. So as long as you get a CPU that has, 8 cores or so, you're going to be fine. Even a fast 6 core will be okay. And so you really don't want to overspend on your CPU. It has 3D cache. Who really cares if your GPU isn't fast enough to utilize it? A 4070 would squander the performance of a 7800X3D or 9800X3D. Really, literally like 0% gain for the most part, unless we're playing esport games at 1080p low. So I know I was gonna list this for 1200, but I'd rather sell it to this guy for instant profit. I have 2 builds in the garage and I'm gonna build another 2 for the Christmas season. So if I can pump some out, offload an old GPU, get $150 cash now and have that to spend on future endeavors, that would be great. So yeah, $1,100 I think is gonna be a good deal for him. You'll be gaming from your bed with telepathy. Dude, back when I was a bachelor, before my wife moved in, I had this C1 OLED right by my bed, and dude, gaming on that thing, like I'd just get a lap desk because I'm a mouse and keyboard gamer, and I'd just like pull it out, click some heads. I actually went flawless in Destiny 2 in the Trials of Osiris while just laying on my bed, clicking some heads one day, and then I played Resident Evil and stuff on my OLED. It was good times. Like I miss playing on my bed. And then when she didn't live here, I'd also had the mini PC set up in the living room by the router, and I would just play on my mini LED TV in there. It was like 120 hertz. I'd play like Halo Infinite. So yeah, now I pretty much only game in this room. Also the garage, because I'll set these up in the garage and game on them in between working out, which is fun. But yeah, it's a pretty cool PC, man. I was gonna look to see if we could see it from there. Yeah, you can't really. So guys, let me know, how'd y'all like the overhead cam setup? I bought this, they're kind of like bars. I positioned the camera very well where you can't see the bars, but it's things like this that I've been trying to improve the quality of the channel with. And for all of you guys that donate, for all the guys that, you become a channel member, it really helps with being able to buy different things. Like, I really appreciate it. So thank you guys for that. Hopefully you guys like watching me build PCs and just talk about tech during the live streams. They don't get as much attention, but honestly, I like doing it because I'm going to be doing this anyways. So might as well live stream it. Dude, my wife's not going to let me set up a whole gaming rig in the living room because if I set this mini PC up in there, it's going to stay in there. It's a server. I don't want to keep constantly unplug it, replug it in, things like that, Dude, I've said this before. Selling a build on Facebook Marketplace for over $1,000 is almost suicide. You're gonna get so much people harassing you like, hey, 500 bucks. I need to make a whole video about like out-of-pocket comments I've gotten on Facebook Marketplace. Like, there was this one guy where I had like a $1,000 build. He told me like $300, and I'm like, no, like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, it's your loss, man. Like, your loss. I have $300 right now. I'm like, I do not care. I sell every build I make. It just, sometimes they take time. Let's see, what'd you guys say? To be honest, guys, I'm not looking to have like a huge streaming audience or anything like that. Like, if the streaming audience grows, that's fine. Like, for me, it doesn't really matter. I don't think streams are a thing where I could make a ton of money off it. I'm just gonna do it because I think it's a fun way to interact with the main fans of the channel. That's who I want streams to be for, are for the members, for the people that pop in every video to always leave comments. That's what I want the streams to be for, not for like the average Joe that watches a leak that I make and then tunes back in for the next 50, 90, 60, 90 leak. Like that's not who the live streams are for. It's for people that actually just like hanging out with me. And if that's only, you know, like 20 people, 10 people, that's cool with me. Thanks, bro. Yeah, we're working on the channel. The reason I haven't grown how you think I should is just because I cannot put out videos at the rate other YouTubers are doing. I can stoop to a lower quality and pump out videos, but I don't want to do that. I actually really enjoy editing and making things look crisp. Or I could, you know, edit how I do now, try to have higher quality, but it's just not going to be as often. And with me having, you know, working at my university, doing a full-time PhD, it just takes, there's weeks where I just can't get a video out. If I was to upload 3 times a week, I'd already be probably at like 8K subs or 10K subs. But that it's okay. Like I'm not the kind of person, I'm a slow, steady, consistent kind of person where I'll do things and I work towards things and I'm totally fine with failure. I'm totally fine with failing and just improving one step at a time. And that's what I've been trying to do. You know, even these live streams, they started off pretty jank, but I think now they're getting to a point where it's like, dude, like this guy looks like he has like 100K subs or something. I don't know. It's what I like to think. So if I get a sponsor, it will detach me. Dude, I've had a few sponsors. I actually got a sponsor not too long ago. They sent me an AI, like it's a little lavalier mic you put on and it records, let's say if I was in a class, it would record a lecture. And then it would tell you an AI summary of that. I tested it out and I was like, okay, this is cool, but the AI pin is, all it is just a lavalier mic. It's not like AI itself. Their data centers are AI and it sends your conversation to the data centers, which is fine. It's cool. But I'll be adding that ad segment in my next video probably. Yeah. For me, I'm torn between the two. I'll watch like quote unquote slop. Like I don't mind if it's non-edited. I don't prefer like super highly edited. Like my stuff is edited, but it's still just talking head. Like I like talking head stuff. That's the main thing I listen to on YouTube is just people like saying their thoughts. That might be picking up on the mic. But also I like like I'll just say like Frogboy X1 Gaming. He comes out with like two videos a day, and I actually watch almost all of them. But I listen to them like while I'm doing things. So like I don't mind like the quantity. That's just not what I want to do because if I can get, you know, like 10K views off one video every week or do 10 videos a week and get 1K views off those 10, I'd rather just do the one a week and have it be focused, have it be what I actually want to talk about and quality. And then hopefully that will lead to like more and more views over time. But Frogboy X1 Gaming, he's probably one of my favorite YouTubers right now just because I love his takes. I love, no, I'm not his takes specifically, but I just love hearing him talk about his thoughts and working through his thoughts with the process. Yeah, I mean, as a YouTube Premium user, I almost always do audio. So like, I think about it when I edit. I'm like, dude, I'm doing all these like motion graphics and things, and most people probably aren't seeing it because they're probably just listening. That's good to hear. So like I have to do that. So I do presentations all the time at my university. I have to read these articles that may be dozens of pages or about very complex topics and basically describe them to people that have no idea what the topic is about. Like I've been reading about like RNA sequencing and the metabolic genome, like things like that, like how metabolites and ligands like influence your metabolism on your genes and how your genes are expressed when you're eating a certain diet, things like that. And I'm learning a lot, and it's helping me describe complex topics in a simple way. Yeah, that's why I like Frog Boy. Like I like people being themselves. Like I want you to drop your take. If you go look in the description of this channel, that's what this channel is all about. I made this channel because I got banned, or my comment got deleted on a Moore's Law is Dead Discord, or not Discord, YouTube video that he made. My comment got deleted. I saw other YouTubers like Vex. I saw YouTubers like Daniel Owen. And then the last straw was I saw Frog Boy X1 Gaming. Then I said, you know what? I can do that. I'm going to start my channel. Start off rocky, and then we got to the point where we are now. So. Dude, same, real tech geek. I had Spotify and I had a student discount. I've been a student for so long. I graduated high school in 2018. It's 2025. I'm still in college. That Spotify took away my student discount. They said, there's no way you're still a student. So it went from like $5 a month to like $12 or $13 a month. And I said, nope, I'm not doing that just for music. I pay for YouTube Premium. It's $8 a month for me for YouTube as a student. And I'm just gonna get YouTube Premium and I'm gonna do YouTube music, and that's what I do now. So I just use YouTube Music is so much worse than Spotify, but I'm just willing to do it for the savings. So wait, planner channel, are you saying that I need to describe things better when like for audio only users, or are you saying that I already do that? Because I don't know if I do. I need to think about that more. I will destroy the algo. Dude, the YouTube algorithm is so fickle now that I feel like even like mainstream tech tubers, if they don't come out with good content, like they will only get a few thousand views. Like if Hardware Unboxed was to come out with something that was very low quality, not guided, and like shaky footage, horrible audio, there was no key message in their video, I would actually believe it would probably only get like 2,000 views or something. Like I think the YouTube algorithm will nerf even big channels. Dude, I'm listening to YouTube 95% audio only. Like those walks you see me on in videos. We do have a walking video coming, by the way. I know you guys like those. I pretty much just go on walks and listen to YouTube. Man, look at this PC, bro. It's sexy. The thing is that I have to describe to this guy is this is worth $1,100. It's worth more, honestly, because he told me he wanted to see a picture of the build tonight. It's going to look very similar to all the other builds I built for like $700 to $800. I just have to relay to him that this graphics card is a dang good GPU. It's going to be worth that money for him. Also, the AM5 socket, he's going to get a big upgrade one of these days. Hub is phony now. Dude, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I will tell you this. Steve from Hardware Unboxed rocks an Intel CPU in his main rig. He's rocking like a 13900K, I believe. Will that tell you all you need to know? I don't know. But yeah, boys. CapCut. Or is it a 12? Yeah, it's a 12900K. Okay, I've misremembered. All right, boys. Well, we got the PC build done. Built it for 950. Gonna list it or sell it for 1100. If he ghosts me, I'm gonna list it for 1200, and we'll see what happens with this build. I may actually take out the 4070 and put a 3070 in there if he ghosts me, because selling this 4070 standalone might actually make me more money than putting it in a build. Sometimes you have to do that. Like if I was to sell my 4080, I would not put it in a PC build and sell it, because that graphics card is worth $700 and minimum, probably like 800. Not really, just because the 5070 Ti is stealing its thunder. But if I was to wait until graphics card supply went down, it would be worth like 800. And you can't put that in a build, because how much would the build have to cost? Like $1,600. And at that point, no one's going to buy off Marketplace. They're going to go to Best Buy. So yeah, when you have a high expensive graphics card, you might just want to sell it off, eBay. Hardware Swap on Reddit is where I've sold all of mine. That's a good place too. Things like that. All right, boys. Well, thank you guys for popping in. I see a lot of people from the Discord here. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Look forward to another video this week about PC building, PC flipping. The market right now, I have some concerns, and what I think the AI shortage is doing to PC gamers. All right. Thank you guys. See you.